How does the internet work while you're in a flight? Imagine you're sitting in a flight, you turn on Wi Fi, and suddenly you're watching YouTube at 35,000 feet. How does that video reach you while you're flying? Here's how it works. Your phone connects to a router inside the flight. A router is a device that creates Wi Fi signals and lets your phone connect to the internet, just like the one inside your home. Flights have a small router hidden behind interior panels. When you join networks like Delta Wi Fi or United Wi Fi, you're simply connecting to that router. Your data moves from your phone to the router, but the router itself doesn't have internet. The flight still needs to bring the internet from the outside world. Flights can connect to the global internet in two main ways: air to ground towers, or satellites in space. These systems let the aircraft communicate with the rest of the world while flying. Air to ground towers, ATG. Air to ground technology allows a plane to communicate with tall cell towers on Earth. These towers contain antennas, computers, and fiber optic links that connect into the world's internet systems. They normally communicate with phones on the ground, but special ATG towers point upward toward aeroplanes. Data travels in a simple path. Your phone sends data to the plane's Wi Fi router, then to an antenna on the bottom of the plane, which beams the data down to the nearest tower. The tower's computers push your request into the internet, and the response travels back up the same path. This method works only over land. Satellite internet for flights over oceans. When planes fly far from land, they switch to satellites. A satellite is a machine in space with solar panels and antennas that can send and receive data. Satellites don't contain the internet. They act like mirrors that pass your data between the plane and ground stations. Think of a satellite as a mail carrier in the sky delivering messages back and forth. How data travels through satellites. Inside the plane, your phone sends a request through the airplane's Wi Fi router. The router sends it to a satellite antenna located on top of the plane, inside a smooth hump. This antenna communicates with satellites, tracking them as they move. The antenna beams your data upward to a satellite, which then sends it to a large dish on the ground. That ground station converts the signal into internet data and sends it to Google, YouTube, email servers, or whichever service you're using. The response returns through the satellite, the plane's antenna, the router, and finally to your device, all in fractions of a second. Types of satellites. Older GEO satellites sit extremely high in space and create more delay, making the internet feel slower. Newer LEO satellites, like the ones used by Starlink, orbit much closer to Earth and offer faster speeds, low delay, and allow smoother streaming and video calls. What's inside the plane that makes Wi Fi work? Inside the aircraft, several devices work together to give you internet. There is a Wi Fi router that creates the network, a modem or server box that manages passenger logins, security and speeds, and antennas that connect to either satellites or ground towers. The top antenna talks to satellites, and the bottom antenna talks to towers. The aircraft automatically switches between them depending on where it is flying. Why airplane internet isn't always fast? Airplane Wi Fi can slow down because too many people are using it at once. The plane is switching between satellites or towers. The weather interferes with signals, or the aircraft uses older technology. Newer planes with modern LEO satellite systems provide speeds much closer to home Wi Fi. The full journey of one Google search. When you type weather on your phone, Your device sends the request to the plane's router, then to the satellite antenna, which beams it to a satellite. The satellite sends it to a ground station, which passes it to Google servers. Google sends the answer back through the same path: ground station, satellite, plane antenna, router, and finally your phone. And all of this happens while you're flying several hundred miles above Earth.